short, power-packed, and full of good information. So, as you see, it's myself and Tay this morning. So, I guess I'll throw it over to Tay to see what he's got written down. In 19 minutes, I was able to take 4 pages of notes. That's crazy.
Yeah, that was so good. And I don't know, Greg just he pumps me up, man, because I just feel like he's a leader among leaders. He, like you said, he's led through several big time disasters that has happened, and he just always stayed focused on the bigger picture, and that is, we're gonna get past this. And him just always trying to be an innovative and really just stepping up where a lot of people don't step up. So the first thing that he said that really stuck out to me, he said, everyone wins when the leader gets better. And I just think about this time that we have right now. We're at home. Most everybody is home. What are you doing with your time? Are you reading the books that you said you was going to read? Are you doing the personal development? Are you showing up to the personal development Zooms to just continue to grow and learn? I think this is the time just continue to invest in yourself, understanding that, growth doesn't happen overnight. Growth happens over time. You have to show up day in and day out, continue to feed yourself the knowledge needed so that you can continue to grow. And also understanding that you haven't arrived. I still haven't arrived. That's why I continue to show up, understanding like I have to continue to still put in the work, because there's you will never learn everything. There's always something new to learn, and there's always something new to learn about yourself as well. So you just have to continue to show up, knowing that as you just continue to show up, as you just continue to raise your standards, you're also doing that for the people who follow you as well. The second thing he said, which I think is very important in this time, because it kind of keeps you, it keeps you, first it keeps you on track, and it also keeps you just continue to move out the day and just being productive. He said, lead with an effective and normal routine. I think once this happened, a lot of people just completely got off of that routine, and they wonder why they're stressed. And it's because your body and your mind were used to doing things a certain way, and you just all of a sudden just cut it out cold turkey. And I think that just caused a lot of people to bring stress among themselves and really get caught up in this place of don't know what to do, so they become stagnant. And so I think for me, I just think about Carrie, and somebody asked her one time, what what makes her show up for her business every day, and what makes her just continue to open up her 2.0 and just continue to run with that. And she said, it isn't motivation or inspiration, that makes me show up for my business. It's the habits that I've created. I know the things that I should do for my business every single day, and the habit of doing those things over and over, I just show up and do it every single day. So that third point that I wrote down from him, I think is very important with that, when he said, he almost said just top three things. And for me, it's the 6 list. Like, create a 6 list, create the things that you should do for your business every day. And, put those things on the list and make sure you're doing those things before you do anything else. And for me, I think the most important part is because I did something similar to this with my son. Once this happened, he no longer got the opportunity to go to school. So what I did was went to Amazon by Doug and Melissa. They had this responsibility chart, and it was things that he can check off every single day, whether it's make his bed, clean up his toys, be respectful, so many different things. And what I learned was, he is he is very goal oriented. And I think it's the same with us. And I saw every time he got to put something on his board to check something off, he was excited about it. So for us with the 6 list, when you check off these things that you're doing with your business, you're celebrating yourself. You're not just, going throughout the day figuring you're doing all this work and not seeing the results of it. When you check off those things on your 6 list, you get the time to actually celebrate these small things that you're doing day by day. And I think that celebration is going to create the snowball effect for you, that you're just going to continue to show up because you're doing the things. And if you're doing the things, the fruit is going to come because you're already doing the things necessary to grow your business. So I thought that was very important. And the fourth thing, he said, your life, and this is, man, so key. He said, your life is moving in the direction of your strongest thoughts. And man, I was like, wow, what are you thinking during this time? Like, you really have to train your mind. You really, like you said, I have to train and I have to renew my mind during this time period. I had to continue to feed myself the things that I know. I have to continue to show up and just search personal development Zoom, stay in the books, because if you don't, the news is really just, it's an overcast of just pouring out all this information that I think you can get distracted from the things that really matter, and that is growing your business and understand, the power of what we have within our company to go out and just help people. And just the last thing that I'll note that he said, you can make excuses or you can make progress, but you can't make both. And to me, this made me immediately, I thought about Nick Walinda when he was walking across that volcano live, and he said something that just struck me. And I was like, wow, if people can just grasp that. It was after the fact, and he was on the Zoom with Mark and Mike, and he said they mentioned his book, and he said yes, and he was like, as I was walking the volcano, I realized I just wrote the last 6 chapters of my book. So you have to understand, with this COVID, like, you're writing your story. So you have to understand, what do you want your story to be coming out of this? Do you want to be, I was in this and, it was all the excuses I made, or I was in this and I took advantage of this time and my business exploded because of this. I'm a black diamond because of what I did in COVID-19. I'm a triple diamond because of the work that I put in COVID-19. I helped so many people. I was able to start this, whatever the things that you want to do, you was able to do it because of your focus during this COVID-19. So I think you really have to get intentional about the things that you want. And like my friend Mike Lemire, he said, I'm not focused during this time. I'm laser focused. I know what it is that I want, and I'm doing those things consistently every single day, because I know, like, out of this is going to come so much abundance. And for me, in the back of my mindset, the thing that I'm thinking about is still going back to Costa Rica. Mark said, we're going to go on the biggest run this company have ever seen. And because this COVID-19 is taking over, I have not removed that from my mind. I still, deep down in my heart, believe we are going to go on the biggest run that our company have ever seen. Like Joe said, like, we've been praying for this. We didn't expect it to come this way, but look at the opportunity that's going to come from this. People actually talking about working and leading from home. This is an opportunity for us to really just dive into this and just get laser focused on the things that we want and just get this opportunity out to as many people as possible. And I think that if we can do that, the story that you're going to tell out of this is going to be incredible. So just focus on the things that you want. Continue to train and renew your mind every single day. Like you said, get up, get dressed, do the things that you would do on a normal basis, do those things, and continue to prepare yourself and continue to prepare yourself and continue to prepare yourself for when this thing ends, so that you can come out of this even stronger, wiser, and more suitable person to become that leader that, you already said you wanted to be. So I hope this helped you guys, and it was just incredible. I'm like I said, Craig pumps me up, man, because he's just such a leader for leaders, and he just shows up. When everybody else sits down, he shows up, and he just continues to lead in ways to open up our eyes to let us know, like, don't let your circumstances determine how you lead. You are a leader, so you have to, get up and do it, in the front.
Oh, that's so good, Tay. I love it. I love how the title of this was Leading from Home. Guys, we've been doing this for years. Now everybody else is starting to catch on to what we have. So I feel like this was something that we should have had 10 years ago, is hey, here's our leading from home guideline. So this was really awesome to watch, and how to lead effectively from home. I love he starts out with a John Maxwell quote, but he didn't remember that it was John Maxwell's quote, because John Maxwell always said the most difficult person to lead is yourself. And then you have to go and try and lead other people. But the one thing that he pointed out is, when things change in a dramatic fashion, everybody becomes emotionally disoriented, which causes them to see and do things irrationally. So what he wants us to do is to stabilize our emotions. And the way to do that is to come back to being proactive and not reactive. And he said the best way to do that is to stay within the confines of your existing routine. Now, if you don't have an existing routine, it's time to create one. And so he gave us the outline of what a good routine looks like. Now, we know if you go to bed at the same time and you wake up at the same time, you feel more rested, even if it's less hours. So even if you sleep 6 hours instead of 8 hours, if you're doing it at the same time every night, your body recuperates and regenerates faster. So that was a really important one. I love the fact that he said, maybe even get up earlier during this time that you're home, if you're not normally home, That way it tells your body, I'm going to be more productive today. Number 2 was set 3 top priorities that you want to accomplish for your business each day. Tay, I love what you were saying about the chore chart. Guys, create a chore chart for yourself. Do you guys understand what that does for your children as they grow up? Having a chore chart that gives them the ability to check things off. 1, they get task oriented and goal oriented. And 2, they actually feel that accomplishment of checking those boxes off. We're no different as adults. Even if it's something as little as posting something about your business on social media, that's a checkbox. Guys, get these things down. I know we talk about the 6 list all the time. So, figure out what that's going to be for you. But for the most part, it is doing your steps to success in some form or another, contacting people, posting on social media, maybe doing a live, talking about product. And then it's asking somebody to join your team, asking somebody to be a customer. And then the final thing is follow up, follow up, follow up, follow up. Follow up should be like 6 of the 6 on your 6 list. Number 3 was exercise. Guys, I can't express how important this is. Us starting so long ago and being in the health and fitness industry with our gyms, even though, during the last crisis, we ended up losing those. It's still, exercise is still one of the most important things for your mind. It gives you the ability to get those endorphins moving in your brain, which is the happy, feel good emotions. Your body may be tired and sore, but your brain will start looking for new ways to do things because you have those endorphins going. So I highly recommend doing exactly what he said. Go back onto YouTube under Craig Grochel's podcast and look for that exercise program that he's got on there. That's I'm always looking for new ones. So that's going to be awesome to go click on that. 4, this was really important. Create a workspace in your home. It's almost like a place to go to do your job. When you have the ability to get up, get dressed, take a shower, do your normal things, and then walk and step into your office, you're going to feel like you're going to be more productive because you know that it's go time when you go there. If you're just randomly walking around the house with your phone, scrolling, that's not going to give you that feeling of accomplishment. You're going to get to the end of the day and go, where did the day go? If you have the ability, and guys, we're talking about a power half hour here. I'm not saying take a 3-hour day and close yourself in a closet. Guys, power half hour. Do them as you can get them in, but schedule them in. Get up before the kids, do that 30 minutes of hard work. Like he said, hard focused work will feel like you've accomplished way more than a little bit of work throughout the entire day. Number 5 was make yourself take breaks. That allows your brain to decompress. And when you have your subconscious mind open because you're taking breaks, you may find solutions that you otherwise would never have thought of. Your goal for this should be to come out on the other side of this quarantine better and stronger than you did going into it. And then he gets into talking about how to work with your kids through this, having your kids at home. And I 120,000% agree with kids need a routine because it gives them comfort. That was one of our major things doing raising Taylor, was keeping her with a schedule. When most people were putting their kids to bed whenever they got tired, Taylor had a specific bedtime. So she knew once it was time for bath, once it was time for books, it was time for bed. And it was the same time every night. And the thing is eventually they will go accustomed to that, and they just know that that's when it goes. So even through high school, she was almost in bed the same time every night when we were raising her, in elementary school. It just became a part of her routine, which gave her stability, which allows her to accomplish more during the times that she's awake because it's focused during that time. Do what they would in school. I love how he said, shut everything down, do focused time so that they can get it done in a small window, and they'll be more productive in that 3 hours than they would have a whole 8 hour day at school spread across that time. But I love this statement. Know this, you are not going to mess up your kids. I would be panicking right now if I had to do school because I haven't the slightest idea. Have anyone tried to do this new math they've been teaching? I haven't the slightest idea how to. So when somebody's like, hey, can you help me out with this math question? I'm like, yeah, here you go. And they're like, that's not how you do it. I'm like, well, I got the answer. So I completely understand where you're at in the realms of not knowing how to work with your kids and ruin them. The great thing is they've got everything provided online and using Zoom. So, everything is at your fingertips. You can't mess your kids up. Just give them guidance with what they're doing and give them structure. Going back to the biggest battle you're going to face in all of this, and he said, not just in this, but everything in your life is the battle of your mind. Tate pointed out, your life and actions follow your most prominent thoughts. So what are those thoughts? Guys, design your thoughts so that you can design your life. You have to be proactive and not reactive. You have to take control of your thoughts and your attitude. Attitude is a large portion of it as well, because your attitude, like Chad says, it will get your altitude. It will be how far and how high you can go. Train your mind back on what is true. If you're wanting to know what is true, all you got to do is pick up your Bible and start reading it. It's all right there. That will give you a great foundation to know what you have and what you can lean back on. God said, I will never leave you nor forsake you. He's there with you through all of this. You don't have to worry. He's got it all under control. And like Craig was saying, talking to people in 2023, if you're listening to this, you can be like, man, you guys were crazy back then. Look at all the stuff that happened since then. That's the thing is, we know that the outcome is going to be amazing, and we're going on the run of all runs. Because guess what? People are listening now. Before, people really weren't excited about the side hustle. Now everybody wants to find out about a side hustle. So you should be yelling from the rooftops so that they know that your side hustle is the side hustle of all side hustles, of side hustle of side hustles. I mean, guys, they're primed. They're ready. You just need to have it come out of your mouth. Don't let your circumstances talk you out of leading. You were designed and destined and born for such a time as this. Step into it and step into your destiny as a leader. You can make excuses or progress, but you can't make both. I like that. We've been saying that for a long time. You can make excuses or money. You can't do both. You can make excuses or be a leader. You can't do both. You can do anything or have excuses, but you can't do both. Guys, do the best, not the excuse. Look and see what crisis you have led through before. I love this because a perfect example of this was David in the Bible. When he got to Saul and was talking about who's this Philistine Goliath that is yelling at us and saying that things are unholy to us as a people. And Saul was like, you little shepherd boy, how are you going to go out there and fight this giant? And David said, well, God helped me kill a bear. He helped me kill a lion, wolves. He went through the whole list of the things that God did for him before. He goes, so of course I'm going to go out and smite this giant Philistine. It makes sense. God already did this for me, so why wouldn't he do this? Guys, look at what you've already led through. Lean on that as your foundation and your steps to your next level of leadership. Last thing is, we don't motivate through hard times. This is when we stand up and lead. When you stand up and lead, you will inspire people to take action and they will follow you. So guys, go out today, stand up, lead, and go out and change other people's lives. Guys, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you again next time. Have an awesome day.